I remember that it happened at the end of a very long week. There was drama in the office and there was drama at home. The night before, Frank and I had a nasty fight. It may not have looked like a fight to an outsider, but I remember him saying something in that cool, matter-of-fact tone he had. And then it just hit me. I felt like I'd been stabbed. Oh, the pain was real. That sharp pain in my heart. This had been going on for years. Frank would say something mean, and I would just retreat into my shell. I felt so alone. So it must have been about midnight. I was laying down, listening to the radio, and I heard a man's voice. He said, "This man will never care about you." And I said, "Wait a minute. What is this? A voice talking to me?" So I turned the light on. I checked the phone and the little alarm clock radio. They were both off. So I sit there for a moment. And I turn the light off and I lay back down, listening to the rain again, hoping to fall asleep. And I hear the man's voice again, this time very, very clearly. He said, "Nina, this man will never care about you." And this time, I said, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm Angelo." Okay, so I'm thinking to myself, am I going crazy? He said, "No, you're not crazy. I've always been with you." So I was curious, not worried. So I asked him, "Are you God?" He said, "No, not God, just an advisor." So I think about that. I thought about it for quite some time, until I drifted off to sleep. I remember when Frank and I got married. I was so happy. I was so head over heels in love with him. Then he started telling me that this was wrong, that was wrong. You don't know what you're doing. You don't do anything right. And I began to realize I wasn't going to be enough for him. He was way up there somewhere, and I was somewhere on the ground. So I had this thought that this marriage isn't going to work. It just wasn't going to work. but I wanted it to work. You know? I wanted it to work so badly. So I tried to be better for Frank. I went to the gym. I lost weight. I went to grad school part-time. I even learned to fix those Italian dishes he loved. I just kept running and running. I just couldn't catch him. This went on for years, but nothing was working. I just couldn't reach the bar. So he started staying late at work. He wouldn't go to church with me on Sundays. He wouldn't even look at me when he was home. So it wasn't a surprise when I heard Angelo. It wasn't a revelation. It was a confirmation of something I already knew inside. A few days after Angelo spoke to me, I went to the divorce lawyer and began the process. I moved out of the house at the end of the month. I feel a little lighter now. Still a little lonely, but lighter. Oh yes. Angelo? I haven't heard from him since. But I'd like to think he's still around, watching out for me.